Okay, sorry for stream problems, folks. We, I think, have got it sorted out. Let us know if any issues with the stream at all.
Sorry for stream
and that
problems,
is
folks.
me,
I think,
which is good
starting
sign. So we should have pictures now. Let us know if there are pictures.
We've got the starting soon now.
There shouldn't be now.
Now it's a black screen.
Still a black screen? Oh,
It's
no.
a black screen.
Now. No, it wasn't a black screen. All right, we're good. All right, we're definitely good. Okay, so 3.5 minutes left in qualifying. Usual intro, sorry, really short intro. This is SLR Austria. You all know that, though. I'm Terra. Alongside me is Timo. How's it going, Timo? Yeah, it's a little bit of a panic this morning. We got Astro Boys on intermediate tires, which is an interesting thing for him to do, and we have 15 of the finest drivers SLR have to offer about to do battle around this Spielberg track. We have Speedy at the moment on pole on a very impressive 1 minute 4.2, Bailey Thompson P2 on a 1 minute 4.4, and then Danny and Jensen both on 1 minute 4.6s, and a pretty close field by the looks of it with 3 minutes to go in qualifying.
Yeah, I'm going through the order right now, and it's noticeable that we've got a lot of drivers who are running the number 19 because of the crash in F2 we just had.
Oh, is that why they... Oh, I see.
Yeah,
okay, yeah.
Bailey Thompson is running number 19, Danico is running number 19, and Push as well.
Oh, that's a nice touch from everyone.
Yeah.
If you missed it earlier, there was an enormous crash in the Formula 2 Spa race. A little bit after the F1 qualifying this afternoon. So, all of our best, obviously, to everyone who was involved there.
Yeah, we don't know yet what happened.
Well, I think we
don't know.
We don't know the conditions. Yeah, we don't know the conditions of the drivers involved. There's various reports happened since the crash, obviously, but nothing conclusive just yet. So we'll wait to hear.
Yeah. So back to our qualifying session. There's 1 minute and a half, so I guess everyone's getting ready for the final laps, or they are already on the final laps. You guys, for example, is on a final lap, and let's check the lap data. Not close to sector checkpoint. Bit of a slide in turn 4, yellow flags out in sector 2.
It's certainly a hot lap though, as Tipsy gets out of the way.
And Hugo's, will he improve his time?
3/10 up.
He's 3/10 up, yeah. So that would put him close to Danny and Jensen.
Heading into the final couple of corners, yeah, looking for a possible top 3 starting position for Hugo's. Around the last corner he goes. What can he do as he crosses the line? He goes P3, just barely behind Bailey Thompson on a 1 minute 4.4.
Yeah, what a great lap from him. We saw the tail end of it, and he absolutely nailed it. And who's also looking to nail it is Bailey Thompson, who's now started his final run. Trying to get the best line, very stable, nicely done. Now the run towards turns 2 and 3 up the hill. Was it a quicker sector 1? No, he is slightly down on his time. How's it with Speedy? Speedy even a 10th quicker, and he set a 4.26.
So Speedy to be knocking on the door of the 1 minute 3s here. We'll keep an eye on everyone, of course. Jensen, I think, has just started his fastest lap, or fast lap as well.
Push is retired now. Bailey Thompson's second sector delta is plus 1/10 of a second. Bailey Thompson barely slower. Speedy, I missed that one, so I don't know about Speedy, but I don't think Bailey Thompson will beat him, so Speedy might be safe even if he doesn't improve, but it looks like he will improve. A mighty lap from him.
Oh, Bailey spins on the exit of the last corner, and into the wall he goes as Speedy comes past. It's going to be an improvement, a huge improvement, a 4.1 from Speedy. Not particularly a huge improvement, I guess, but certainly a major improvement. But it was an invalid lap. I was looking at I was looking at the time in the top right, and it was a 1 minute 4.1, and obviously the timing didn't update, but it was in purple, so I couldn't see. So
Yeah, Jensen has abandoned his lap.
yeah,
So Slash is Slash still on a run?
no,
No,
he's not on a
Slash
fast one.
abandoned it. So that's your
That's
grid.
everyone then. Yep.
Speedy on pole, ahead of Bailey Thompson. Separated by 0.2 of a second. Hugos with a great lap in P3, then Danny Coe. Jensen down in P5, and it tells you a story about a driver if you can say only in P5 about them.
Yep,
So
absolutely.
this is his worst results in SLR so far. So
Yeah, behind both Hugos and Danico, who are on the second row of the grid. Good stuff from them. Ocean beating Tipsy in the battle for Sauber and Ireland, so good stuff from Ocean. Also, shout out in chat to Kelsifer Green, who I believe is Ocean's better half. So thank you for watching.
yes, yeah,
and,
that must
welcome
be,
along.
That must be her, yeah.
Yep. So there is your grid. 1 minute 4.260. He did a 4.1 that was invalid, did Speedy. But still good enough easily for pole position, nearly 2/10 ahead of Bailey Thompson, then Hugos and Danico on the second row. Jensen and Light Cruiser make it an all-Dutch third row of the grid, and then we have Kirst and Slash LP to make it an all-meme fourth row of the grid.
And I want to point out that to those who still remember Spain, with the almighty battle for Ireland, and the three of them are bunched up together again. Ocean Chief leading Tipsy, and then that Pixel. I know you already mentioned Ocean there, but Pixel is behind them, so we might get a three-way fight for who gets to rule Ireland in SLR.
Yeah, we always enjoy watching their battle. And looks like it might be for some points this time as well. 15 car grid, and we saw quite a bit of attrition in the tier 2 race earlier this week. We don't know if there's going to be any rain. It doesn't look like it by the looks of the pit lane at the moment. There's bright sunshine. We'll keep an eye on that.
Oh, Mr. Chief has already been absolutely burned in chat.
Yeah, better half is right, absolutely.
That hurts.
Everyone choosing their tyres and choosing their strategy and everything else.
So maybe a bit controversy may be coming up, because at least reading chat, like Discord chat, because Astro Boys hasn't quite served his quali ban. He just did a lap on intermediates. I don't know. It's practically the same, but I mean, if you
yeah, I don't know about that.
yeah.
He's
I mean, he picks up everyone who gets DQ'd or doesn't set a lap. Well, there was
Yep.
no one in this case, so it worked, but I don't know. I guess
Yeah,
he didn't
it's,
do it in any sort of with any sort of bad intent. It's just him memeing around, but I don't know if that's the way we want it to be done.
yeah, I mean, I can certainly see if there was we lost Kirst. What happened to Kirst? He's left the session.
His game crashed, I imagine.
Yeah, it looks like it, doesn't it? Oh, he's joined back again, so maybe it was some sort of connection issue. Maybe he was fixing some desync or something like that. I don't know.
Yeah, give me a second.
Hopefully he's able to get back in the car. But yeah, I can certainly see a case for Astro Boys if he ends up starting in front of someone on the grid, which he hasn't in this case. But if he does, then there's an argument that he's not served his qualifying ban at all.
Technical problems at Ferrari, as Kirst's downshift pedal is not working.
Oh no. Well, that's
gotta do it in 8th gear then.
That's bad news. Yeah, he'll just have to not slow down for the whole race. I think that's the only solution.
or if we consult 2018 Bilosh, just drive as fast as you can.
Yep. So we got the grid forming up. We've got Speedy in the Toro Rosso on your right as we look. Bailey Thompson in the Racing Point, I almost said Force India, on the left. And then the McLaren and Ferrari and McLaren of Hugos, Danny and Jensen rounding out the top 5. We're getting ready then for everyone to start. Looks like Kirst has managed to get in his car. I don't know if he's actually in his car, but we are going to have 5 lights in Austria, and away we go. Very good start from Speedy by the looks of it. Not such a good start from Danny, who's under pressure from Light Cruiser. Going to be 3 wide into there. Light Cruiser, a little bit of a send as they head into turn 1 and get squeezed out a little bit there as well, and ends up losing out by the looks of it. Danny, though, has to fall in behind Jensen, so it's McLaren second and third up front, though. Speedy thought about defending from Bailey. Bailey goes down the inside into turn 1 and doesn't leave any space on the exit and loses out. I think maybe even to Hugo's as well. They're 3 wide as they head down towards turn number 4. And Hugo's, I think, has the inside here. I think he's going to get the run. Bailey just squeezing out Speedy, but Hugo's puts his nose in there, get a little tiny bit of contact between them. Bailey, though, hanging around the outside, and is he going to be able to claim the inside for the next corner? It looks like it as they all head through.
What a start. Kirst can downshift again, by the way, so it fixed it. And such a great battle at the front, and I hope this sets the tone for the rest of the race. And Speedy must be a bit upset about that start. Now Hugos goes a bit wide in turn 9. Can Speedy maybe capitalize out of that? I don't think he can. We've got yellows, and it's Bertus. Bertus is off.
Didn't see what happened to Bertus, but there he is facing the wrong way on pit exit as they all head up towards turn 1 on lap number 2.
Hugos got a wheel onto the grass, and now he'll lose P2 to Speedy, and Speedy is already past him. Very bad exit for Hugos there, of course, on the grass. I mean, it's to be expected, and Jens has a look on Hugos. That was a bit naughty.
It was a little bit. He had a tiny look up the inside, pulled out of it eventually, and Hugos manages to get through the corner without any real problem. And that is the view ahead and behind from Light Cruiser.
Light Cruiser dots to the outside. Side by side. Next one is going to be Light Cruisers. He's on the inside. He's got the nose in front. Danico tries to swing it round, but he will close it off, and Light Cruiser claims the position up into P5.
Yeah, Light Cruiser just running a little bit deep into that left-hander. He got away with it, but certainly Danny had nowhere to go on the outside there. End of lap 2. We can have DRS enabled very soon, obviously. So Bailey Thompson still leading us for the time being as several cars run wide on the exit of the final corner. Speedy, though, is well within DRS range, and I think the DRS will be activated as of now. So yeah, there goes Speedy's wing as /LP, who's down in 7th. Gets himself 3 seconds of penalties.
Yeah, we already have a lot of exceeded track limits warnings flying around, and there's 1 for Bailey Thompson, 2 for Jensen already, also 2 for Push, so they will have to be careful.
Yep, they absolutely will, as Jensen has to at least think about defending from Light Cruiser. And what happened? Did Speedy make a mistake there? Speedy looked like he made a mistake.
Inside. And Light Cruiser, no, okay, he can't take another one, but he's still hanging in there.
Yep, having a very good look at the back of that McLaren. Jensen just running a little bit deep into that left-hander. Light Cruiser now with the run on the exit. He's going to have a little look up the inside here into the penultimate corner. Decides better of it, though, which I think was a good decision, because you don't really want to be overtaking into there. And through they go as /LP runs very wide on the exit of the last corner. Dead Pixel getting himself 3 seconds as well, so the battle for Ireland not going his way at the moment.
Yeah, Ocean Chief at P10, and everyone who is ahead of him will be happy about that, because they don't want to die under interesting circumstances. And now we've got ourselves some Austrian DRS train, and Danico tries to take advantage of said DRS train, doesn't manage to do it though. He was on the inside, and now both Ferraris look hungry for a piece of Williams. Danico on the inside on Light Cruiser. Both lock up a bit. Can Kirst follow him through? He tries it. They are side by side.
Yep, he's got him.
Light Cruiser gets the worst of it.
Light Cruiser forced to the outside there, so he loses that position as Astro Boys, I think, passes Push for P12. Astro Boys not really making much in the way of progress. Starting from the back of the grid.
Mediums,
yeah, he's on medium, so he'll be able to run longer into the race. But I think he'll have hoped to maybe make a little bit more progress than he was. Up front, though, we have Bailey Thompson, who is still within DRS range for Speedy, so he's not going to be going anywhere anytime soon. Then the 2 McLarens, Hugos and Jensen, then the 2 Ferraris of Kirst and Danico, and there is plenty more racing to come here. Slash with it 6 seconds now. There's the two Ferraris. Are they battling into turn 2, or did Kirst let him have that? It looked like he might have let him have it.
Oh, shit.
What's up?
I just read that apparently Hubert died.
Oh my goodness. So
yeah, there's an official FIA statement.
Oh dear.
He's passed away 1835 in, following the crash.
Well, that is
okay.
Awful news. Certainly not what we wanted to hear.
Yeah.
And all the best, obviously, from us goes out to him and his family and everyone in the motorsport community at the moment. It's we always say it's one of the perils of motorsport, but it's always devastating whenever anything like this happens.
Yeah, that's up front. The gap between Speedy and Bailey is visibly come down.
Yeah, I feel like these guys are almost just running in formation a little bit. Maybe not though. Maybe Speedy is going to have a look at it now. Yeah. Around the outside into the hairpin. Can he get the move done? Nope. Doesn't have the grip on the outside there. So Bailey managing to stay ahead for the time being. This will allow both Jensen and Hugos to close up. Oh, is he going to go around the outside there in the left-hander? Speedy's going to try it. That was a really good effort. Oh, and Bailey just squeezing him out there. So again, Bailey just keeping the inside line. Now Speedy having to defend from Jensen as well. They head around the last two corners. Bailey managing to defend for the time being, and Speedy now under serious pressure from Jensen, who is going to go down the inside into turn 1. So Jensen biding his time from that 5th place start. Didn't get the best exit though. They both have DRS, of course, on Bailey.
The source is gone again. I don't know. I'll focus on the race again. Sorry.
Yeah, we'll give you news as soon as we have it conclusively. That was...
Jensen! Wow, that was sideways.
With the back end hanging out there, Jensen managing to stay in front of Speedy. Is Speedy again going to try and go around the outside here of this left-hander? He's going to do it by the looks of it. He got a great run off the corner, and Speedy with a great move up to 2nd place. Don't normally see overtakes there, but that was impressive from Speedy. Through the final 2 corners they go. Bailey is now out of DRS range. For how long? As Milos gets himself 3 seconds. So through the first corner they go. Light Cruiser pits at the end of lap 7. And again, just nose to tail, these 4 at the moment. They're not really able to get away from each other. Jensen on Speedy down the inside into the hairpin. Speedy not letting him have it though, trying to hang around the outside. And Jensen again having to wait his turn. Speedy will be wanting, I would imagine, to catch Bailey, who is threatening to make a break here. He's again out of DRS on lap 8. And there's a pretty significant gap now. Kirst is hanging on to the back of this train, albeit with a time penalty. But then there's a pretty big gap to Slash LP, who is having a pretty good race of his own in 7th place in that Red Bull. Speedy, Jensen, Hugo's Danny. Not hearing Timo. I don't know whether he is actually there and trying to talk and his Discord's playing up, or whether he is away from the mic for a second, or is disconnected or something.
I was forced to be mute again.
Ah, there we go. Let's as down the inside goes Jensen. The switch back from Speedy, though. I think Speedy's going to get this. But again, this is slowing the pair of them down. Speedy not willing to give up his position without a fight, and that means that Bailey is still out of DRS range of the two of them. Into the left-right they go. Astro Boys, by the way, up in P8 now. So there's medium tyres, I think, starting to pay off for Astro Boys. What's happened here? Did Danny...
I do not know.
Where did Danny pass you guys? I missed that. Something happened
so did
there.
I don't know, maybe you guys got loose somewhere. Oh. What happened to Light Cruiser? Oh, Jensen out of Speedy and Hugo's...
Light Cruiser pitted, yeah.
Hugo's on Danny.
Down the inside of Danny, so yeah, good stuff from him. So both McLarens making up a place. Danny now, though, with the DRS advantage, of course. Same with Speedy on Jensen, but Speedy not close enough. Danny to the outside. Hugo's going to try and hold the inside here as they go through the hairpin. He does manage to defend. Astro Boy's up the inside of /LP in the hairpin as well. So Astro Boy's up to P7. And he's going to be trying to make some headway on that 5-second gap between himself and Kirst as Speedy almost loses the back end. And just about manages to catch it. And Danny
spins!
Oh no, so Danny, I guess, did exactly what Speedy almost did. And Danny going to have to wait now for everyone to pass. Oh, he's going to have to wait for so many cars to pass.
That pixel, there's a good gap. He should have,
So, unfortunate for Danny, he's thrown that P5 away. But Kirst still up there for Ferrari. 3 seconds for Slash. That's 9 seconds, I believe, already on lap 11 of this race for /LP. Tipsy also gets himself 3 seconds. He's battling with Push at the moment as they head up towards turn 2. Tipsy also on the mediums, so he's going to be able to run quite a bit longer than Push. We have a yellow flag sector 1. Dead Pixel is facing the wrong way, and still facing the wrong way because he spun as he tried to recover.
Yeah, probably traction.
Yeah,
That's
definitely.
Far into the corner, yeah.
Oh, Jensen's off! Jensen's off! What happened to Jensen?
No! I didn't see it!
In the left-hander.
Left, right, and centre.
I don't think there was anyone near him, so I think that was all by himself. I didn't exactly see.
I mean, it was... Oh, Speedy with a penalty.
Yeah.
Maybe Jensen... I mean, it was in a section where it's easy to... where you try to ride a curb, and maybe he got wheels onto the grass and it kind of sucked him in. Bailey with a penalty for himself as well. So that's... Yeah, they're fighting each other on equal grounds then.
Yep, that's the top two, both with penalties. Hugo's I don't think has one though. So he's got the advantage at the moment. Jensen did pit and he's put on the hard tyre. So we're going to see probably Jensen run to the end of the race on that hard tyre. /LP and NJJ. This is the battle for 6th at the moment. Astro Boys has pulled away a little bit and he is catching the back of the leading train on those medium tyres, as you probably would expect. And we'll see when the lead quartet decide to dive into the pit lane. I would imagine it'll be quite soon, as Bailey decides to go another lap. And Speedy also going another lap, so we'll see if they can manage to stay on those tyres. Hugo's dives into the pit lane, so he's probably also going to put the hard tyres on. Kirst, though, goes another lap, so 12 laps on the soft tyre.
Oh, and NJJ spins out of turn 1!
Oh dear.
It was in fight. I don't think that was contact, but yeah, I think with /LP?
No,
probably /LP.
Oh yeah, it was with /LP, yeah, sorry. So
doesn't get it straight, and now Jensen has to pass, and that looked a bit dangerous, but I mean, I guess that was completely legal, just looked a bit...
yeah, he certainly wasn't in full control of the car, was he?
Yeah, he was. Oh, now he goes wide there, and Danny Corbelli gets through without any contact. Light Cruiser will now try to profit of that. goes to the outside of Jensen, of Danny. Can you
So,
break him?
so Danny has come out, or rather, the others have come out right with Danny, which shows you how much time Danny lost with that spin.
Smooth run, and Light Cruiser has got it done. And now, Danny with a bit of a tank slapper, and
Yeah, Hugo's had to take evasive action there. We have
yeah, exactly.
a new leader because the other two leaders are pit. The new leader is Milos Martika. So Milos
Chased by Astro Boys.
Yeah, he's got Astro Boys all over the back of him. Speedy and Bailey both deciding to put the medium tyre on. I would imagine that will be to go to the end of the race. So those two on the mediums. Hugo's also on the mediums, by the way, but Jensen has decided that he wants the hard tyre instead. Obviously not able to keep them in quite the condition that the others are, maybe. And also he pitted a lap earlier. So Astro Boys now leads. He passed Kirst a moment ago. There's Tipsy and Speedy also doing battle. Speedy having pitted. Tipsy has not pitted yet. Also props to Ocean Chief, who's up in P4 at the moment on those old soft tyres. He's going to be pitting, I would imagine, in the next couple of laps. Light Cruiser and Hugo's side by side heading into the double left-hander. As Kirst does decide to pit at the end of lap 14. Slash LP not pitting though. So he's going to go another lap. So is Ocean by the looks of it as well. So Kirst onto the medium tyre. As Hugo's gets very sideways in the penultimate corner. Hugo's not really hanging on to the back of Jensen at the moment. 3 seconds between the two of them. Oh, up the inside goes Light Cruiser. Hugo's let him have it. And Kirst is out ahead of both of them, so that's an overcut for Kirst, which you don't normally expect to see. Just going to mention again that we've not heard Timo for a while, just in case he's...
This time it was actually...
oh, okay.
Quiet.
Oh, as Hugo's again just gets a bit...
Oh,
man.
He did some wing, I don't know.
No, he didn't. He hit the polystyrene thing, but I don't think he hit the wall.
Yes, I saw things flying through the air. Oh, 10 seconds. What did that pixel did?
Where would that have been?
It's about to be lapped.
So that's the double left-hander?
Yeah, not a good race for him.
That's a weird one.
And now he'll get double stacked, but I mean, he doesn't care too much, I imagine. Even hits the wall on pit entry. So that pixel is out of the battle for Ireland.
Yep, looks like it. Ocean Chief deciding to pit. He's going to put the, I would imagine, the medium tyres to go to the end of the race.
I thought we just saw a car being sideways. Okay, never mind. All are fine. Difficult to keep track. The gap between Astro Boys and Bailey is 8.6 seconds. So if you calculate it with like, I don't know, 21 seconds or 20 seconds for a pit stop, it means we've got like 11 seconds of a gap for Astro Boys, but Astro Boys will be on fresh softs towards the end.
Okay,
I don't think
I've lost connection, so I'm going to have to reconnect.
Oh, yeah, you did. Need an invite?
Yeah, it says I've lost connection to Steam. Have I actually lost connection to Steam? Yes, I have lost connection to Steam. What on earth?
Happens sometimes.
Dear,
You're
dear.
online for me, though.
It says disconnected for me, so I don't know. Actually don't know what is up with this. And why is... Oh, there we go. Am I back?
Don't know.
Don't know. Can you invite me again? Sorry.
I will try to. Let's hope my game doesn't crash with all the tapping out I do.
Yeah. Oh, there we go. All right.
Okay, now you're reconnected for me. Jensen is on the back of Tipsy. Jensen has gone for the hards. Can you even... Yeah, you can do soft mediums here.
Yeah, you can. Well, there's several drivers that tried to do it. Hugo's was one of them around him. So we'll try and get everything back up.
Hugo's having a look on the inside of Light Cruiser. He's got more grips because he's on softs, Light Cruiser being on the hard tyre compound.
Yeah, Light Cruiser's had those hards on for quite a while as well. 9 laps or so. He was one of the first to pit. Goes right on the back of that Williams. I would imagine he'll probably go for it on the main straight here. As soon as he gets the DRS. 3 more seconds for Speedy. So that's not good news for him. He's trying to chase down Bailey Thompson at the moment. He was having a look and then making a little bit of a mistake in turn 1. A little bit scrappy from Hugo's, honestly. It's 1 or 2 mistakes creeping in to his driving today. Certainly got the pace, but maybe just overdriving a tiny bit.
Yeah, he doesn't look like he's quite there today. He is oh, what a ascent!
That was a lot of ascend, wasn't it?
I don't know, maybe he's just losing his patience, having connection issues. Rejoined though. I think he's fine. Maybe his game just crashed shortly. How's the situation between Tipsy?
Yeah, it looks like it.
Kirst?
Yeah, but this is a battle for Ireland as well, I guess. Tipsy and Kirst.
Yeah.
So Kirst trying to pass Tipsy, who's on much older tyres, of course, and I imagine he will probably do it here.
Yeah, not much Tipsy can do there. On his old tyres, 19 laps old. Yeah, 18 laps old, and Kirst's are, well, not. I imagine like 5 laps.
They are 4 laps old, yeah. So Hugo's now on the back of Light Cruiser, and I think he is going to get this move done finally. On the inside into turn number 2 or 3, or whichever it is. I guess it's 3. Tipsy, though, not willing to give this up by the looks of it. He's going to try and go down the inside here of Kirst. Kirst's going to brake quite late, hang around the outside of the hairpin, and he does manage to do that. So no luck there for Tipsy. 2 Haas's fighting at the back. Sorry.
I'll quickly make a lap time comparison between Bailey and Speedy to see the gap's moving, or who's losing time where. So it's high 7s for Bailey. Very low 8s for Speedy. Bailey is just a little bit quicker overall. Also, he gets less warnings and less penalties, so it looks like the things are...
Yeah, it looks like... Oh, we got yellows for something. Don't exactly see what. Is that Dead Pixel, maybe, who is recovering?
Hugo's on Tipsy into turn 3. Up the hill. Tipsy breaks early. Hugo's does not.
And then Light Cruiser ran into the back of Tipsy as well, and Hugo's outbraked himself as well. There's Dead Pixel getting out of the way of everyone.
I feel like Tipsy broke a little bit early, but and he holds his nose in there.
It was a bit of a squeeze. Yeah, Dead Pixel has gone. Welcome to the new 2SRL Racing Point driver in chat, Mr. Revo. Light Cruiser. Yeah, Light Cruiser got 3 seconds for that. He was looking to the outside of Tipsy where there wasn't really any room. So Tipsy doing his best despite being a very old man, trying to hold back Light Cruiser. Down the inside goes Light Cruiser into turn 1. Lap 21 of 36, but just over half distance.
Mr. Revo, I am afraid facts don't care about your feelings. And the fact is that you're a Racing Point driver. Lip-tarded. Anyways. There is
Tipsy Bob being overtaken by Light Cruiser. They're both on quite old tyres. I don't know if Light Cruiser can get to the end. It's possible that he can. Tipsy has a look to the inside. And Slash LP and Ocean as well running together. Slash was running up in, 7th earlier on in this race, and Ocean... having a pretty good race by the looks of it. He went very long on the soft tyres as Astro Boys pits for the soft tyre, so we'll see where he's going to come out, and it's going to be interesting to see. He's going to be, I think, is he going to be ahead of Jensen even? It looks like he might be. There is Jensen.
It's close, yeah, Jensen will have to...
Yeah, Jensen's got him.
He will have to
temporarily.
anxiously watch his mirror.
Well, there's no way he's going to keep Astro Boys behind him. Astro Boys on fresh soft, Jensen on 10-lap old hard, so that's a big pace advantage.
It really is.
Hugo's now on the back of Kirst as well. Kirst who overcut both Hugo's and... who else was it? Somebody else. I think it might have been Jensen even.
Since when does Ocean Chief not drive a Renault anymore?
I don't know. I guess that happened relatively recently. I don't know though.
Yeah, I think last race he already drove for Alpha, but why did he make the switch? And is Tipsy officially driving for...
It might be, yeah, it might be if he and Tipsy are teammates, that might be why.
I think Icewind is still for Alpha, so Tipsy's just subbing in for Icewind.
Ah, I see. Yeah, that makes sense.
And the move is done for
Astro.
P3.
Yeah, Jensen let him past. He wasn't willing to lose any time. He knows that he's not really racing Astro Boys.
Hugo's on Kirst. And that looks like a DRS job. There's lots of space, so that could be me.
Good battling between the two of them. Former Enduro teammates, of course. Hugo's and Kirst. As Tipsy pits to put on the soft tyres, so he's going to go to the end of the race on those softs, on the same strategy that Astro Boys is. Ocean Chief now right on the back of /LP.
Yeah, Mr. Raro, I'm afraid your Alfa Romeo performances were not impressive enough for Ferrari to think, oh yeah, we need to hire this guy. That's not how F1 works, I'm afraid.
Astro Boys, again as you would expect, does the fastest lap of the race. Hugo's and Kirst very close to each other. Kirst deciding not to go for it this time. 3 seconds for Jensen, which I think is going to be meaningful because I don't think Hugo's has any penalties, and I think Jensen, that's his first. So Hugo's, who's 3 seconds behind the fellow McLaren.
And Kirst is just... yeah, I think this is one of the cases. I know you like to mention that being behind a car... oh, Ocean is past Slash.
Yeah, he sent one into turn 3. It was impressive from Ocean.
Yeah, reminiscent of his France move. Oh, can Slash strike back? He is on the inside. Will he get it? Slow down for the corner. Oh,
there was definite contact. There was a couple of instances of contact there.
Yeah, he really leaned in on him to not lose the car.
Yeah.
But I think in the end it's fine. But that could have gone so wrong. Yeah, what I was about to say. I know you like to say that following into the car gives you like half a second per lap because of DRS and slipstream and the lack of
dirty air. Yeah.
So I think this Yugos versus Kirst situation is one where Kirst is just being dragged along by Yugos. But he broke really late, man. I could already see him chopping off some piece of his front wing.
Yeah, he got away with it.
If he keeps doing that, then he'll drop out of the DRS window, but as long as he doesn't, he is going to be fine. And let's have a look at Jensen's penalty. Oh!
Yugos again.
I thought Yugos... yeah, I just went into the race direct and I see a car sideways in the back and I was like, oh no! And I'm making weird sounds, the thing I can do best.
No, he did get away with it though, but yeah, I think that's exactly right. I think Kirst is being dragged along. I think he's quite happy to be dragged along because Hugos is very slightly faster. There's Bertus and Tipsy battling now. Tipsy on the fresh soft tyres, so he should be looking to pass Bertus, I would imagine, quite soon. The battle for 11th place. NJJ as well, keeping a watching brief. Got to get these tyres to the end, of course. It's not all that easy with the soft tyres, but 12 laps should be manageable. It'll be interesting to see what happens with Astro Boys, because he has been pulling away pretty consistently from Jensen. But at some point those tyres are going to be suffering. And yeah, Kirst just following Hugos around, I think. And now Tipsy in a very good position to get the overtake done here on Bertus around the outside, or it's not really the outside because they were never side by side in the corner, but he manages to get the move done pretty comfortably by the looks of things. So through they go as NJJ manages to catch a little bit of a traction moment there in the very tight right-hander. So further up the grid, we got Astro Boy's now 7 seconds off the back of Speedy. Speedy is within 3 seconds of Bailey, but I think he has 3 more seconds of penalty. 3 seconds for Hugos, though, is huge, because that means he has the same number of penalties now as Jensen. They both have 1, as far as I know, at least. And we'll see whether he's able to close that gap to Jensen, but I would imagine that Jensen probably has the better of the tyre situation now on those hards rather than the mediums. Still the battle here for 11th, 12th, 13th. Tipsy trying to make a bit of a break, but Bertus not able to defend from NJJ, who I think is going to go up the inside into turn 2, and they both outbrake themselves, and Bertus, I guess, pushed off the track a little bit there by NJJ. NJJ does get past, though. 3 seconds for Speedy and Curse. Yes, I can now. Sorry, I guess you dropped out there.
Yeah. Okay, that's good.
So we've had three more seconds for Speedy, which I think means that he now has 9. Not exactly sure. And 3 more seconds for Kirst as well, who is certainly now not in the same race as Hugos, with all of the penalties that he's got. And MJJ, I guess, trying to get away from Bertus, gets himself another penalty. Well, again, /LP on the back of Ocean. We've got 8 laps to go after this one. Bailey at the moment leads Speedy by 3 seconds, and I think he has 1 penalty to Speedy's 3. I'm actually going to very quickly go into the race director and check. So Bailey has 1 penalty and a warning. Speedy has 3 penalties. Astro Boys only has 1 penalty. So at the moment, Astro Boys is in 2nd place. He is ahead of Speedy, because there is a 6-second penalty difference between the two of them, and Speedy is 5 seconds ahead of Astro Boys.
Astro Boys on a real charge. I mean, of course he got a quali ban, so
yep.
He is.
No, impressive performance.
Yeah. I mean, it is kind of to be expected that one of the quickest guys in the championship, in the league, will work his way up the order from last place to the front positions. But this is very impressive, because he was basically in P3 after his first pit stop, and there was no incidents or anything going on, and now he is only I think 7 seconds, 7.3 seconds off the leader of the race, having started in P15. So I mean, even though the circumstance, or I mean his general pace made it kind of to be expected that he will work his way up the order, but still he's running very close to the front, and he's even closing in. If you have a look at the gap, that's slowly shrinking.
Yeah, it certainly is. I mean, he's 6.8 seconds off the lead now. I don't think he's got time to catch Bailey, and I think he's going to run out of tyre before he does in any case, but certainly he's well established now in that 2nd position, and I think he is going to get that 2nd place. Ocean gets himself 3 seconds. He's trying to stay ahead of Slash at the moment, and Danico's on the back of those 2 as well. Ocean goes defensive into turn number 3. Slash, though, around the outside, very nicely done, is Danny as well, who's right on the back of Ocean Chief. Pulls to the outside, Ocean covering the inside, and Danny, I think, is going to go around the outside of Ocean Chief as well. So Danny up to P9, Ocean Chief in his customary P10 at the moment. 3 more seconds for Kirst. We have a yellow for that. Virtus is off the track at the hairpin.
Not going too well for him either. In general,
3 for light cruiser.
Tipsy is way ahead of Ocean is way ahead of Tipsy. He's driving a good race as well, a quiet one, but a good one.
Oh yeah, Ocean's having an excellent race.
He's in the fight for P8, and speaking of that fight, Danny
Oh, he outbraked himself.
brakes very late. Yeah, he went way too deep into the corner. Can he still carry it? Yeah, Slash LP just left him plenty of room, and that enables him to get past. Can Slash strike back though? Will this be a copycat situation to what happened between Slash and Ocean Chief? No, it will not. Don't think there was any running into side pods or
side
something
by side,
like
though.
that.
Still side by side, Danny with the inside. And he does manage to get that move done. Yeah, nice stuff from these two.
He will be kind of disappointed, I imagine. He's done a P8. I think he spun once. I do not quite remember. Yeah, he was the one who spun in the last sector and then had to wait ages, right?
Yeah, Danny,
so
yeah.
That's why he's down the order so far. He'll be disappointed. He is really quick, and I think the gap to light cruiser is just too big for the last laps.
Yep,
so I'd imagine this will be where he will finish. I wonder if Ocean Chief can beat Slash LP or if he will finish 10th.
Well, I don't know what the penalty situation is between the two of them.
I'll check on it.
We'll figure that out as we go. As Slash almost loses the back end there, so Ocean now is going to be right on the back. Oh dear.
It's 1 penalty for Ocean Chief and 4 for Slash.
Oh dear. So yeah, Slash is not going to beat Ocean Chief unless something quite strange happens. Something else that's been happening while we've not really been watching. Well, Astro Boys is 2 seconds now from the back of Speedy with 4 laps to go. Of course, he's actually ahead of him because Speedy's got all of those penalties. But the other thing is that Hugo's is only 2 seconds from the back of Jensen as Kirst. I thought he'd lost the back end for a second there out of the first corner, but he didn't.
Tipsy Bob has got 1 second worth of penalties and 1 second, 3 seconds, 1 penalty, and he will not get past Slash except if Slash gets another one. So Slash will probably pick up a point, but Ocean Chief will probably pick up 2. Speaking is really hard today.
So 4 laps to go. It'll be 3 in a second as Bailey and Speedy cross the line. We're going to keep an eye on yellow flag in sector 3. Who is that? Only for a moment, so maybe just somebody running wide. Astro Boys 1.6 off the back of Speedy. He's been able to keep up the pace really well on those soft tyres. So with 3 laps to go, we might be looking at the back of Speedy and getting that pass done before the end of the race. Of course, it doesn't actually matter because Speedy's got many more penalties. He's got 6 seconds more. But certainly Astro Boys will want to pass him on track, and Speedy won't want to be passed on track by Astro Boys, who, it's worth reminding everyone, did start from the back of the grid. He's come all the way through the field. He started on the medium tyres, he went to the soft tyres. It's a really good drive from him. .6 now the gap between Jensen and Hugo's. They are actually fighting for position with 1 penalty each for the pair of them. This is the view from Hugo's McLaren looking at his teammate up the road. The gap now 1.2 seconds, so maybe Hugo's can get this 4th place before the end of the race. Very nearly in DRS. He's trying everything he can to get into that DRS zone. Don't think he quite had it that time. Nope. So looks like Jensen might be able to keep hold of that position, but it's an impressive drive from Hugo's on those medium tyres. Again, Kirst is doing exactly the right thing and just following, and with all the penalties he's got, he's going to need a big gap on Light Cruiser. As Ocean passes /LP into turn 2.
Turn 3, actually.
Turn 3.
Would be a 9-turn track otherwise. At least that gets double digits. And Bailey Thompson is on his way.
Oh, Jensen made a mistake somewhere.
Oh,
sorry,
yeah.
He's right on the back. Now Hugos is right on the back of Jensen, and as far as we know, this is 4th position. So Jensen and Hugos doing battle royale here. Oh, Hugos again, just driving slightly. What happened to Kirst?
He really broke himself, or tried to send it, I don't know, and he hit Hugos' side pod, almost spun, kept it on track though.
Well, that was why Hugos went wide. Then I was on board with Hugos and didn't see anything, but I guess that was why he went wide.
Kirst sitting on 4 penalties though, so...
Yeah, no, he's not racing these guys.
There. Yeah, the pair of them both with 2 penalties, so... This is for position, but I think they actually passed all the overtaking opportunities as Bailey Thompson.
Yep, ran
now through turn 9, turn 10, and it is a victory, and I think his first this season. I know he was always close. I don't know if he picked up a victory though. And Astro Boy is actually, he passes Speedy with the penalties. Between Jensen and Hugos, nothing going on there.
Oh, Hugos really trying very hard in the last corner, but and he gets 3 seconds as well. So good stuff between the two of them. Jensen managing to keep hold of that 4th place. Good drive from him onto the hard tyres in the second half of the race. Managing to stay ahead of his teammate for the day, Hugos, who finishes 5th. Good stuff. It was a really good race. And congratulations to Bailey, who we've seen him have a few moments this season already in terms of his outright pace. Monaco, he qualified on pole by a distance and then couldn't convert that into a race win, but he's put it all together today. A really, really good drive from the youngster, and manages to win the race by only 3 seconds against Astro Boys, who started from the back of the grid.
Yeah, great performance by him. Showing us that he can, I mean, this would sound disrespectful if I say it that way, that even if he is faced with having to overtake basically everyone, he's able to get it done without causing any incidents. At least we didn't see anything, so some good drive and a clean one, and on the track where there's lots of battles where there's lots of room for side-by-side action, and if you're past someone, they will always try to take revenge, and they can on this track. So, I mean, there's room for crashes here.
Absolutely.
I think you can say that, and
yeah, there's plenty of overtaking opportunities, but Bailey with what in the end was a commanding win. Speedy qualified on pole, but wasn't really able to hook it up in the race. He wasn't quite as fast as Bailey, and got himself a few penalties as well. So still on the podium is Speedy. It was a solid drive from him, and Jensen with an uncharacteristically ordinary drive. I mean, every race of his so far has been ridiculously impressive. This one was okay, but not ridiculously impressive. But still brings it home 4th, so good stuff from him. Gets himself some very good points. Hugos tried his best on the last lap. He wasn't helped by the shot he got into turn 1 from Mr. Milosh behind him. But Hugos 5th, Kirst 6th, and then Danny, who did a really good job actually recovering from that early spin, finishing P7. So, shall we think about? Well, we got a couple of things to think about. One is potential driver of the day. Don't know what your thoughts are, Timo. And I think Timo's gone quiet again because his Discord is playing up. So we'll wait for Timo to sort himself out.
3 times. Yeah. Okay. So you know, technically, I don't know if I would give it to Astro Boys because I mean the quali ban is on him. I tend to think that the penalties were not completely off or anything, so it's kind of on him that he had to start from the very back of the grid. And we tend to give driver of the day to drivers who come from the back and overtake everyone and have impressive drives. So, but I've kind of got reservations about giving it to Astro in this case. But on the other hand, I think his drive was technically the most impressive. He didn't get to show what he had in qualifying, and you know, everyone. I mean, it was really close, and drivers were fighting, and there was some great action and everything, but there was no real standout performer. I would put my finger on and say, you sir, you drove a fantastic race. Bailey Thompson had a really good one, but I think maybe not as impressive as Astro. So even though I'm kind of torn, I would probably give it to Astro, but also Bailey Thompson gets a mention from me just because Astro had his quali ban. I don't know. I would probably give Astro the edge, though. I am really, I don't know.
I think that's a pretty good summary of my thoughts as well. I will say that Astro is doing himself absolutely no favors in chat by demanding that we give him driver of the day. We're much less likely to give Astro in fact, yeah, I'm not going to give Astro driver of the day because of his behavior in chat. Instead, Mr. Milos Martika, I think, is going to get driver of the day from me.
Really?
Because for a pretty good drive, he was on the back of Hugo's and did the sensible thing on the back of Hugo's, bringing it home very nicely. I think he's probably my nomination. We could still give it to Astro if you really feel strongly about him, though.
Let me quickly check on the results. I want to see the gap. And I will not read chat. I actually, I thought about Cursed as well at some point in the race, because I felt he was really, he was there, but I feel like if we gave it to Cursed, then it would just be a situation where we gave it to him because he's normally not that, I mean, he's improved a lot, but I feel like we would just give it to him then because he normally isn't there, and this time he was. I don't know if that's too justified either. So honestly, I think I would give it to Astro, but don't back in chat.
Yep, no, that's fair enough. Astro Boys is our driver of the day, but next time don't demand that you're given driver of the day, please, Astro Boys. We're not going to give it to you again if you demand it, but I think you do deserve it based on your performance today. So well done to Astro Boys. And who wants to talk to us? We have a little bit of time at the end of the stream to talk to people. It was a relatively short race, and I think we started a little bit earlier as well. So if anyone wants to talk to us, let us know. And put yourself in 2SRL. I guess we're in 2SRL chat, aren't we?
Yeah, we should go in SLR,
we probably should. Yeah, let's do that. So, all right, we're in SLR chat now. So if you want to talk to us, let us know.
There's no one lining up right now, though. Oh, Cursed is.
Milos Martika, let's talk to you. If you can get yourself in chat, there we go. There he is, Mr. Cursed. That's a pretty good drive today, Milos. You were hanging on the back of Hugo's there. I guess you were using his DRS, and you got yourself a few penalties, so you weren't really racing against those guys. But still, what was it? P5, P6, wasn't it? P6 is a pretty good reward for, I think, what was quite a good drive. Let's. What did you make of that race? Talk us through it.
Yeah, qualifying was pretty horrendous, not gonna lie. My first lap was okay, I did a 4.7, it was invalidated. Second lap I spun out, third lap invalidated, and fourth lap I got a bit distracted by Astro Boys on the Inters, but interesting strategies from the Mercedes.
Yeah, we did note that Astro was on the did go out in qualifying and set a time on the intermediate tyres. It remains to be seen what we do about that. It certainly is not in the rules, either really the spirit of the rules or the letter of the rules. So yeah, we'll see about that.
Yeah, but anyway, going to qualifying, I was a bit disappointed. I knew I could do a 4.7 at least because I had done it, and then I was reasonably sure if I did get a lap together, I could do a 4.5 because I have done that lap already as well. So I was reasonably sure that I could go faster and I could be in up to maybe in a P4. So yeah, a bit disappointed going into the race. Then the start wasn't any better as the end of qualifying because my downshift pedal was not working. So I was desperately trying to downshift on the formation lap. It didn't work out. I had to leave the session, come back, try to race sign it, manage to get it working, and then I got overtaken by 2 cars at the start. So I had a bit disappointed, but meh start.
Yeah,
So,
I guess it's one of those things. I mean, because of the nature of the track, like you don't have a problem overtaking here. So it's I guess as long as you're in that pack, then it doesn't really matter sort of where you are and whether you lose a couple of places on the start.
yeah, I mean, I think it was a big pack from P1 to P6 or 7, all fighting for P1. So I think I was in that for a little while until I made a little mistake and I fell off Danico with DRS. Then I just, I was able to keep up within 1.2 seconds. I never really got into the 1 second after that because they all had DRS and I didn't. I was just desperately trying to keep up. So at that point, I upped it up for what I thought was going to be an undercut, but apparently everyone else pitted 2 or 3 laps before me. So I was like, okay, I'll just spit now, I suppose. Yeah.
Yeah, I think you managed to do the overcut on Hugo's. I guess he got held up by a couple of things in traffic.
Wing damage. So I had to get
Oh, I hadn't realised. Did he change his wing in the pits?
He did, yeah.
Oh, that explains. Yeah, that explains why he lost. That time then.
Yep. And yeah, basically after lap 16 or so, we just me and myself and Hugo's towing each other to Jensen. Yeah, I mean. And then yeah, I got I think 2 penalties on the last 5 or so laps, trying to push a bit harder.
What happened on the last lap in turn 1?
Well, yeah, I think Hugo's was a bit surprised by Jensen because he broke a little bit early, and I was surprised that Hugo's was going slower than expected, so we ended up colliding a little bit, and yeah, I think that's pretty much it really. We just kind of got caught off guard.
Yeah, fair enough. It was good to see you guys working together. It was big brain tactics from the pair of you, so good stuff. And I think
at least 5 brain cells.
And I think a well deserved P6. So well done. Any final shout outs you want to give?
I suppose I can give my condolences to Antoine Hubert, who has passed away actually after his incident in Spa.
Yeah. No, we mentioned that during the race, and yeah, it has been confirmed since then. So Antoine Hubert unfortunately didn't survive that awful impact at Spa. So everyone in the SLR community and everyone in 2SRL as well, we send our condolences and send all our best wishes to everyone involved in the motorsport community at the moment, because difficult time.
Yeah, it's also just I remember I watched the Bahrain race of F2 and I saw Hubert and he did a great race, and I thought I bet this guy and Schumacher will fight it out for F2 next season or something like that. No, I think he had Renault ties, so I think he had a great future ahead of him, but F1 and F2 sometimes don't play the way you expect it to.
Yeah, absolutely. It's very sad whenever anything like this happens. So there we go. So that was Miloš. Thanks for joining us, Miloš. It's all the best, and we got in the gentleman's lounge. We've got several people in the gentleman's lounge.
Yeah. So who should we go next?
Should we talk to our race winner? It feels like a good time to talk to our race winner, who is in there, Bailey Thompson.
Okay, and after him we go to Astro.
Yeah, and Ocean, I think, as well. Bailey, that was a fantastic drive. You must be really pleased.
Yeah, it was. It was a stressful one.
It's your first win of the season, right? It's how does it feel?
It's a second.
Second win of the season. Sorry.
Oh, sorry.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, you won in Canada.
I blame Timo for that. Yeah, he did. That's been the
Yeah, I didn't check the stats before it. Yeah, you actually had P2 in Spain, DNF in Monaco, and P1 in Canada. So, and now the P1 again. So great run from you. Congrats for that.
Yeah, thanks. Shame I couldn't be there last week, but family commitments got in the way.
Yeah, it's a shame. It's always good to see you whenever you're on the grid. You drove a really solid race today. It was very calm. You seemed to be making sort of good decisions under pressure. Was there any difference between like how you approached this race and how you've approached races in the past?
Well, yeah, I think because Monaco through practice sessions, I knew I was sort of fast, but
Mhm.
but here I didn't know. I hadn't really practiced. The only person I'd really practiced with was Astro, Danny, and Kirst. So I only know their paces, so I didn't really expect too much for this race. So I guess I just took it how it came through the race and made my decisions from what happened on track.
Yeah, you drove really well. You got, I guess, once you got that 1 second in the first stint, you were trying everything you can to pull away, because like once you get that break and they lose DRS, then it's a lot easier to stay ahead.
Yeah, it's hard to get out of it around this track with 3 DRS zones. So once you get out of it, you have to take it and run.
Yep.
You really do. Was there any point after the first stint, after you had that 1 second gap, where you thought, oh damn, I might actually lose this race, or was it just one of these drives where you don't worry at all and put your head down and are just in the zone? So were you worrying a bit, or was it just calm and controlled?
There was no real emotion. It's just drive as fast as you can around the circuit.
So Bailey the machine in the zone. That's good. I wish I was that calm when driving. So,
And
yeah, that's great to hear.
we've got where have we got? It's Britain next, isn't it? It's Silverstone. So how are you feeling about that?
I mean, I enjoy Britain. It's a good track for me, but I know it's a good track for quite a lot of people. So I hope Jensen doesn't race because he's really quick around there.
Yep, I remember that from the
think he will
tournament.
not. Yeah.
He's extremely fast around there.
Yeah.
But I just gotta take it how it comes. See what everyone's pace is and get faster myself.
Yep, absolutely. And I guess that pretty much holds for the rest of the season. Are you thinking about the championship at all? What are you hoping for the rest of the season?
I'll have to see how the next few races go.
Yep, fair enough. That's probably the best attitude, I think. That's take each race as it comes and do the best you can. So fantastic race today. Congratulations. And
Thank you.
yeah, we'll hopefully see you on the winner's step and in the interview Discord channel at many more races in the future. Thanks a lot for joining us.
Thank you.
Okay. So should we? I think we'll keep Ocean for the end and get Astro in.
Yeah, we'll see what Astro has to say. Astro was the driver of the day today with a really, really good drive up to second place from the back of the grid. How was that for you, Astro?
It felt pretty good. Like this was the first race where I was consistent in 2019, so it felt pretty good.
Yeah, you drove really well. I mean, it was. I guess the thing around here is it's so easy to pick up penalties. I mean, did you have any sort of a strategy behind not picking up penalties? Was it just try and be as precise as you can?
Well, for the first time I did practice for SLR, so
Nice.
I had more confidence in my car. I had time to prepare a normal setup, and it generally felt pretty good.
Yeah, that definitely paid off. We could tell it was a great drive. Normally you're right at the front, and you say so yourself. You're very quick, and the consistency may be the weak point. But today, I mean, maybe the win was just out of reach, and you were super consistent. So do you think that played a part in that as well? That it was just coming from the back, knowing you had to be consistent, and did that help in your approach for the race? Do you think so, or is it, or was it just that everything came together with the track, and it's the track that suited you and the practice that did it?
Like, I don't know, like consistency. I was like, for the first couple of laps, I'm gonna take it like slower, just build my pace. get the confidence in my car, then I was like, okay, now I have to push, and was passing more guys, and I suddenly found myself chasing P3 or P2, and like it felt, I was getting nervous when I saw I'm closing the gap. Like I knew I had to be consistent and just do quali lap after quali lap.
Well, you ended up only 3 seconds behind Bailey, who won the race. Did it ever cross your mind that maybe you could chase Bailey down?
Yeah, like I saw the gap that's coming down by like 1.5 seconds per lap to Speedy, and I was like, okay, this might be an actual chance for winning the race. But I got a bit too greedy and got a 3-second time penalty.
Yeah, if you'd not got the 3 seconds, you'd have been it would have been, I guess, another Germany from last season.
yeah, exactly.
So fantastic
That
drive.
was also fun.
Yeah, that was a fun. That was definitely the closest finish we've had in SLR. Unfortunately, not again today. But
yeah, it would have been so nice.
but for the rest of the season, what are your thoughts for the rest of the season? Silverstone next, and then after that.
Like, we finally got to the point in the calendar where we got to the tracks where I'm pretty good at. So, like Silverstone is one of my favorite tracks. This was also a pretty good track for me. Germany again. I'm expecting another win, and just be consistent and not pick up any penalties and just don't crash into anyone.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we got a few guys I think who are quite confident around Silverstone. Bailey was saying just now that he's confident around there. We know Jensen's very fast around there too. So I think Silverstone will be a good one. I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, thanks for letting me know. So I'll be practicing even more.
Well, fantastic drive today. So 18 points for you. Did you get the fastest lap as well? I think you did.
Yes.
So 19 points for you.
Oh.
And yeah, a good confidence boost I think going into the rest of the season.
Definitely.
And, yeah, absolutely. And thanks for joining us. And yeah, we'll hopefully see
Thank you.
Hopefully see you more on the podium in the future.
Yeah.
There we go. That was Mr. Astro Boys, who was our driver of the day for today. And now we're just going to yoink.
Thanks.
Even though he's talking, we're going to yoink Mr. Ocean Chief. Feels good to do that to Ocean. He's done that to me a couple of times before, sort of mid-sentence. So I'm glad I caught him mid-sentence. How's it going, Ocean? How was your race?
Yeah, I'm good, guys. Yeah, it was a good race for me. Just basically got the head down and just tried to keep the laps consistent. Struggled a little bit, with the tires, self-tire at the end of the stint there. I was getting a bit nervous and trying to manage ERS. And yeah, I mean, my main mission was, I heard you at the start of the stream saying, the Battle of the Irish maybe again. So, and I knew Tipsy was, he was on a different strategy for me, so I was really aware of the fact that even though I kind of dropped him at the start, that he might come back later on. I don't know if he had an issue or something, but after my first pit stop, after he pitted then, he was way behind, so I basically had to battle with Slash. I was aware he had the 15 seconds penalties or around about that, so I wasn't too worried about fighting him too hard, but I did want to get him on track, and eventually I kind of like was tuning into Terror's kind of experience, because I know that the way Terror you would kind of approach these kind of things, you'd think ahead, and I was thinking, I don't want to get him now. I want to get him like 2 laps before the end or the last lap, ideally, so he doesn't get the DRS on me again.
Yeah.
So I just basically sat behind him, was charging up all my DRS, and yeah, the last few laps in. I think he was struggling as well with his tires. I think I had slightly fresher tires than him, so was able to take him. But yeah, I'm happy enough. Like, I mean, at P9, okay, maybe it's not a big deal to anyone, but that is a strong field. Like, if you look at the guys finished ahead of me, even Kurtz was saying, oh, I'm a bit disappointed. I was like, Kurtz, look who finished ahead of you. Hugo, Jensen, Speedy, Astro Boy, Billy, and I was like, even the guys behind you, Danny Co, Light Cruiser, me. Okay, maybe not. Maybe that's the cutoff point. But, that's a strong field, and I think if you get points in that kind of field, yeah, you're doing all right.
Yeah, no, I think that's absolutely right. And yeah, that was the 2 SRL France race where I basically sat behind Speedy for 10 laps,
Yeah.
charging my battery, and then went for it on the last lap. I didn't get him on track, but it
Yeah,
was
usually
still-
I'm not in a position where I can, do those kind of strategies because it's just a case of like keep it on the road and try to do somewhat decent laps. But I've put a lot of time into this track. I think it was Wednesday. I was supposed to be studying, and I just got up, and Wimpy had set a pretty good lap time, like a 104.6, and I was like, I have to beat this, and I spent literally 4 or 5 hours just sweating in my underpants, trying to grind out this, and I just marginally got a better time than him.
nice.
So yeah, shout out to Wimpy. He's doing pretty good himself with the pace.
Yeah, he is. No,
And,
both of you are. I mean, it's always really nice, I find, when you've got someone who's just like who's pushing really hard as well and is sort of a similar pace to you, and you can sort of drive off each other almost. You can sort of like it's you motivate each other to do better, and I think that's like a really healthy thing. That's really cool.
Yeah, 100%. Because I've had that before, where there certain members, will come along in SLR, and then I'll, gravitate towards them, and we start kind of pushing each other. Like Icewind, my teammate in SLR, he's very much like that. He's very much up to race pretty much all the time, and that suits me, because I just want to get on the track and put some laps in, and we can work on strategies and stuff like that. So having a strong, I was teammates with Pretorius, and I have a lot of respect for Pretorius. Much love to him if he's listening, but he's more of like a lone wolf. He goes off and practices and he grinds on it by himself. So it just suits me better to have a teammate. That's why I made that switch to Alpha. Just to have a teammate that I would, spend a lot of time grinding tracks out and trying to get my speed up. And I think it's starting to show a little bit.
Yeah,
But
absolutely.
it's
I think it is too.
still a bit of work to do, it seems.
Yeah,
We're
well,
getting there. Getting there.
no, yeah, I mean you're definitely getting there. The improvement has been very noticeable, and I guess Icewind in that team as well is another one who's like Icewind's very experienced and also very fast, so he's probably a good person to sort of
Yeah, he's
use
very
as a benchmark.
yeah, he's very much deeply involved in the league, in all the aspects of like the strategy. He really thinks about those things, and that helps me a bit because I'm not so much into that. I just like to get in the car and really drive. But it's good to have him as a kind of voice in my ear, just kind of give me tips and strategies and different things to try out. And a big shout out to him actually, because his setups they work really well for me. And I know like other people have been like, hey, how's Ocean Chief getting these fast times in TT? Let's try his setup, and then message me after on, hey, your setup's pretty decent actually. And I'm
Yeah,
like,
who
it's
would
not
do
me.
that?
It's yeah. There's
would
been a
do
number
that?
of people have done that, and yeah, Icewind gets all the credit for that. So if you ever steal my setup, it's probably not my setup. It's probably Icewind's.
Yeah, I think there was it Bant who grabbed your setup in
It was me.
Oh, it was you, and then everyone grabbed your setup in France.
Yeah.
Was
So,
it?
yeah.
No, I think Speedy. No, Speedy grabbed it and then I grabbed it, but I was the person who messaged Ocean Chief.
Oh, I see. Okay, yeah. So
The chat's going crazy. You're like, stop! Don't reveal your secrets. But I can't do that. No, Icewind, he gets all the credit. He likes a kind of really stable, kind of grounded setup, and the wings tend to be a bit different than the normal setups. And it just seems to suit me quite well, because just with the traction out of corners and stuff, I'm liable to spin out with the other setups that most people gravitate towards. So yeah, his setups have been really key for me. Getting more kind of confident in the car and being able to throw it around corners a bit more.
yeah, no, it's good to hear. Yeah, I think certainly for like the first thing with any setup is you have to have a setup that you're comfortable being aggressive with, and if you don't have that, then if you're driving scared in every corner it's going to spin, then it's not easy. You can't really push. So I think that's the most important thing.
Yeah, that's it. I think that's the key for me, is just trying to build up my confidence in carrying speed through corners, because in races, in TT it's obviously different. You can just restart the lap every time you mince it. But with the race, it's like if you go off, it can have big consequences. So I do tend to err on the side of caution, and I've been just trying to build up the confidence to throw the car into corners more and just be a bit more aggressive. I still like in this Austria circuit, turn 3, although I call it turn 2, turn 3 is very much a difficult corner for me because first of all you got really heavy braking zone, and then coming out of that, if you're turning at all on the wheel while putting the traction on, you're probably going to go into one of the walls on either side. So yeah, like I think it's just confidence, just building up that kind of and yourself in TT as well. It feels different. So you could be really good at TT and then jump into a race, and it just feels a lot different with regards to grip and things like that.
Well,
I'm just glad as well. Sorry, can I just say I'm so glad it didn't rain today.
Yeah.
I'm so glad.
Yeah, no, it's good to have a dry race once in a while. It seems like there are a lot of wet races, but yeah, no rain today, and I'm quite glad we've had a couple of races now where there's not been any rain. We had 2 SRL France last week and this one here today, so.
Yeah, it's too much. I mean, in the real F1 world, I think there's very rarely rain.
Yeah, it doesn't happen often.
I think last season maybe it was like once in quali or something. I don't know, maybe a bit more. But yeah, we're definitely getting way more, it seems. So it may become an issue that we might have to decide, put it to the vote for the community and see if we change that up. But I think I should stop talking right now because I think people in chat are just like, will you shut up, please?
They can turn it off.
They can turn it off, indeed. But no, it's always really interesting to hear your thoughts, and you drove really well today. So yeah, certainly a well-deserved time in the spotlight.
Yep, thanks very much, gents, and thanks to my wife Kelsiver in chat. She she was in chat cheering you on. So yeah, shout out to her as well. Yeah, it's appreciated. Thanks very much, guys.
Yeah, right, cheers. So later. So that was Mr. Ocean Chief, the boss man himself in SLR, and I think that probably wraps up our broadcast for today. It's been a fun one today. It was a pretty good race. I enjoyed it quite a lot. Lots of on-track action and no rain, which doesn't necessarily mean there's going to be more on-track action, but certainly rain is just chaos quite often. We saw in the tier 2 race earlier this week that rain is chaos. It was good to have a race that wasn't complete chaos.
Yeah, I agree with that.
So yeah, that's
a bit of order restored in the galaxy. I mean, in the league.
Yeah, a little bit. It's it's good to see, and yeah, it was a fun race today. So that ends our broadcast. Join us, of course, for the rest of the EGL offerings this weekend. In fact, it's only one. It's 2 SRL tomorrow in Austria. That'll be me and Timo trying not to die in probably a field full of cars in the Williams. So good luck to us on that one, trying to bring some points home. And thank you all once again for watching. And because he's not prepared any, I have a psychic link to Timo. I'm going to ask him for any final thoughts.
I was about to say something about the F2 thing again, but I'm not going to use that to make it look like I've got any thoughtful things to say. So I'm just going to say, oh damn it, I don't have anything prepared. I hate you.
That's a good way to finish the broadcast. Actually, is to say. Sincere condolences to everyone.
So I should have done it.
Well, yeah. I mean, you did. So that's really good. But yeah, our sincere condolences to everyone around Antoine Hubert, who was killed unfortunately today at the Formula 2 race at Spa.
It's such a sad occasion, just because, I mean, after the Halo was introduced, I thought to myself, well, it's going to be a long time until something really bad happens again. I mean, the time since the time between Senna and Bianchi was 20. Yeah, 20 years.
It was.
And I mean, they were completely open up cockpits back then, and there were so many close or really dangerous incidents, but like no one ever died. And so I thought, now with the Halo, it's we won't see anything like that for a good long time now, and now this completely caught me off guard.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's
just, yeah.
I mean, it's another reminder, as if we needed any more, that motorsport is dangerous and will always be dangerous. And there's we can do everything we can to mitigate the risk, but there is always going to be a risk. And we lost Antoine Hubert today, who was 22, which is certainly, when you get to the other side of 30, as I am, losing someone at 22 just feels like such an immense tragedy, which of course it is. But
I mean, he's only like he's only 3 years older than I am, so yeah, it's such a shame, just how short his life was, so to speak. But now I'm not going to make sense anytime soon, so
well, I
it's
think
probably best to.
Well, it's one of those things that it's very difficult to make sense of, and
yeah, that's also why I was kind of. Like I during the broadcast, I know I should have been more focused, but I was kind of chatting about the incident with some half watching F1 watching friends that, and I don't know, it hit me a bit, so I was kind of quiet today.
Yeah, well, I don't think you're the only one. I think a lot of people are very upset because anytime anything like this happens, it's always a big shock. So yeah, I think that's completely understandable, and that's the nature of these things. But there we go. So thank you all for watching, and join us for 2SRL tomorrow. It'll be the usual suspects on the mic for that one, Popo and Dead Pixel. So join them for that, and we'll see you next time.
Goodbye.